Surprise episode at home base. Let's go. No, I did not get fired. That was a very satisfying holiday weekend. It's always nice when the holiday's on Friday and then you have 2 days to recover. I got to watch Joey Chestnut delete 70 and a half hot dogs. I deleted about 70 and a half beers, but we'll be lucky if the Pirates break 70 and a half wins after their most recent losing streak. Lots of baseball in this one, and by that I mean me complaining about Skeens not getting any run support, as is everyone on Twitter right now. We'll skip the NBA this week. The only thing that happened is the most boring 7-team trade ever, and a stick got paid $250 million for doing nothing in the finals. The All-Star Break is next week for MLB, so we'll have time to cover anything that happened in the NBA next week in number 162. But for now, this is number 161 of HN'P. Let's get it on. Get it on. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host Ian DiCarlo, this is Hoagies and Pierogis. Okay, so like I said, the All-Star Break is next week, and they're going to be using the ABS challenge system. ASB? Meet ABS. It is not robo-umps, as Jeff Passan keeps tweeting out for some reason, completely misleading people. The umpire is still there calling balls and strikes, and if a questionable call is made in an at-bat, it can be challenged. I believe it's only one challenge per at-bat, but I could be completely wrong about that. It is just like tennis, where they challenge the call, the 3D overlay gets brought up on the big screen at the park, the umpire gets embarrassed if he's wrong, and the game goes on. I mean, this is such a no-brainer. I can't imagine why there would be any pushback to this other than people just wanting to be contrarians. It is good for the game, and it will take seconds to review it. We've already seen it in action in AAA. It's not like a review in football where they have to go over different components of the process of the catch and then determine if they had the yardage needed for a first down or if he crossed the plane of the end zone and then have to look back at it 3 more times to make sure the clock is right. This is just, was it a ball or strike? Yes or no? Now, the theory for players having pushback towards this is some people just want to chalk it up to players don't like change and are trying to compare the challenge system to hockey, implementing more safety articles like a helmet and then later a visor. Those are equipment changes and could legitimately affect how you play. This isn't a piece of equipment being added on. It's an extra 30 seconds of rest, which I'm sure is welcome in the pitch clock era. It should take no more time for the ABS system to judge whether it was a ball or a strike than it would for a batter to call a timeout. And the crowd would go wild no matter the outcome. It's just a win-win for everyone, no matter what. The only, loophole to this that I could think of is that since they only get one challenge per at-bat, and I'm just going off random memory, I'm not fact-checking myself on that, I probably should, is that the ump could get spiteful and make up for losing a review on a call. I could see the ump maybe doing that, but it would have to be, you would have to challenge the call pretty early in the at-bat. And I don't think anyone wants to challenge, strike one to the batter, or if that was ball one. I'm sure they don't want to do it early in the at-bat. They will almost always challenge on a result pitch that would have either struck out the batter or walked him to first base. There's really not a lot of room for that make-up call bullshit here, I think. So I think it's pretty flawless. I mean, if someone does challenge early in at-bat, that's on them. I mean, I don't see why you would. It's not very consequential. If you think you're good enough to get on base, you should be able to take strike one. Or if you're good enough to try to strike out the pitcher, strike out the batter, as a pitcher, you shouldn't be challenging ball one. So it's going to be later in the at-bat, and it shouldn't have any bearing on the ump's calls later in the game. The ump just wouldn't benefit from it at all. Does he want to get embarrassed more? Okay, before we get into the Pirates, these 4th of July hats were horrible. Can they get a makeup call and a redesign on this one? It was so bad that the Pirates' 6-game win streak ended in this one in Game 1 with a 6-0 loss, and Thicky Mantle hitting a home run was the easiest bet that I've won this year. I should have bet for him to get 2 because he got him, and at that point he had 35 on the year, and with that he tied Ken Griffey Jr. for the most by a Mariner before the All-Star break with that second one. But then on Tuesday, when they weren't playing the Pirates, I should add, he hit his 36th to pass Griffey for the most before the All-Star break. And he has more games to add on to that. Pretty sure 38 is the record by Barry Bonds. I don't know if it's 38 or 39. But if he gets to 40 home runs before the All-Star break, that will be insane. In a pitcher-friendly park like Seattle, those dimensions, they're pretty far out there in the outfield. You do not want to be a power hitter when you're playing in Seattle. But somehow Cal Raleigh, as a catcher, is overcoming that. Just to do all that squatting and then calling the games in between, that's a lot. That is a lot to do, and then to have the effort to hit all these goddamn home runs. It's going to be a great home run derby, because I may as well add this now. O'Neal Cruz was added to the roster on Monday, I think it was, to the home run derby. So we're going to see some 500-foot, 120-mile-an-hour exit velocity home runs. You might want to clear the outfield for that, though, because we're going to see some bullets straight at kids. We don't want to see any more dead people on O'Neal Cruz's body count. So yeah, the Pirates lost game 1, 6-0. They lose game 2, 1-0. Luis Castillo dominates the Bucks every time. I swear to God, he did it with the Reds, and now he's doing it with the Mariners. It seems like the bats are going quiet again, but at least Horowitz is hot, having the Bucks only 2 hits of this game. So then it was Skiing Sunday. They had a chance to redeem themselves, the offense did. Let's see if the bats could pick it up in this one. No, they obviously didn't. Shut out in a series after shutting out the Cardinals in their last series. First team in history to win 3 straight shutouts and then lose 3 straight shutouts. Fuck off, Pirates. Skeens went 5 innings with 5 hits, no walks, no runs, and 10 strikeouts on only 78 pitches, and they took him out of the game. Innings limit, my ass. Make it a pitch limit. The Skeens was pulled for 0 reason. This was his best game of the season. 10 Ks is his season high. What are you doing? So then, immediately after Skeens was taken out, not immediately, but 2 batters in, Arozarena hit a home run off of goddamn Carmen Mlodzinski. Who, is he even good at the bullpen? What are we doing here? And that home run was the only run of the game. They lost 2 straight 1-0 games. You know what, with Donnie Kelly, I'm a Donnie Kelly believer, but I really thought that the stupid fucking decisions were over. Use Paul Skeens. Who cares if his arm fucking falls off after 6 years? They're not going to re-sign him. Who the fuck cares? Save him for what? You're not making the playoffs anytime soon. Pirates, you cannot be saving Skeens for fucking what? For no goddamn reason. The only cool thing that happened in that game is that O'Neal Cruz threw J.P. Crawford out at home with a 105.2 mile-an-hour laser to home base. That's crazy. I was like, I don't know. Honestly, Marte might have had a 105 mile-an-hour throw. And 105.2, it's pretty low on the scale of, being in 105. So it was probably above 105.2. I want to say 105.9 for some reason. The Pirates have the 4th least runs allowed in the league, least amount allowed in the National League, and have the 4th worst record in the league at 38-53. Sorry, 55. This was before the Royals series, which we'll get into. So yeah, obviously, I'm gonna complain about Skeens getting no run support, like I said in the fucking intro. Skeens has 1 win over his last 13 starts with a 1.72 ERA. And guess who else has 13 starts with a 1.79 ERA in that span? Tarek Skubal. Guess what his record is? 8-0. Skeens has a 1.95 ERA in his first 42 career starts. This is just unreal at this point. Someone posed the question on Twitter, has a starting pitcher ever had more WAR than wins? Someone responded with this, there have been 24 instances of a starting pitcher with a 1+ WAR and 1 or fewer wins. 5 instances of a starting pitcher with 2+ WAR and 2 or fewer wins. 2 instances of a starting pitcher with 3 WAR and 3 or fewer wins. And then finally, there is 1 instance of a pitcher having 4+ WAR and 4 or fewer wins, and that is Paul fucking Skeens. That one instance is Paul Skeens. But oddly enough, the 2 instances of 3 WAR and 3 or fewer wins are also this season, and it's Yusei Kikuchi on the Angels and Mackenzie Gore on the Nationals. So they're both on awful teams as well. Now, on a positive note, I guess, and he might come in second because he doesn't have enough fucking wins, Skeens is basically neck and neck with Wheeler for the Cy Young. They have exactly the same number of innings pitched, but Wheeler has 23 more strikeouts, and Skeens has a lower ERA and FIP. But they're evenly tied at 4.8 BWAR. That one leading Skeens ERA is doing some heavy lifting, but Wheeler already having 23 more strikeouts might be the deciding factor and not wins in that case. I mean, Wheeler just had a complete game, and if not for that home run, it would have been a perfect game, 12K strikeout game. I mean, it was damn impressive from him. 12 Ks, 9 innings, that one goddamn hit for a home run, and that was it. No walks either. Wheeler is having himself quite the year. All right, in between this and the Royals series, Clayton Kershaw was announced as a legend selection to the All-Star game. And Pirates Twitter just had a fucking field day with this one. Why not McCutchen? Why not McCutchen? Well, first off, he never said he was going to retire this year. What are you talking about? And second, do not compare Andrew McCutchen to Clayton Kershaw's 3,000 strikeouts that he just reached. 3,000 strikeouts might not ever happen again. Kutch has 324 home runs and like 2,200 some hits or something like that. He's not. Don't even try to compare Kutch to Kersh. There's no way. And a career batting average under 300? Stop it. Pirates Twitter, stop it. We all love Andrew McCutchen. We get it. You want him to be in the Hall of Fame because he meant so much to Pittsburgh. Well, guess what? The Hall of Fame isn't in Pittsburgh. So he's going to have to get in on his stats. I mean, it's just going to be how it is. He's like right on the borderline. But if he doesn't win a World Series, I don't think that's going to happen for him. I know plenty of players in the Hall of Fame haven't won a World Series, but Kutch doesn't have the amount of hits, doesn't have the amount of home runs. If his batting average were above 300, I would say yes. But it's like 270 something or 280 something. It's not even close to 300 on a career average. Okay, Royals series. Tommy Pham ended the 30 inning scoreless drought, but the Royals hit 4 home runs after only hitting 15 at Kauffman Stadium all season long, and they won 9-3, giving the Bucks their 4th straight loss. Come on. Like, just come the fuck on. In game 2, it should have been 2-1 going into the 8th inning, but Henry Davis got his fat glove in the way for a catcher's interference with 2 outs, and the Royals went up 3-2 on the next batter. The Pirates tied the game on a Nick Gonzalez home run in the 8th inning, but Nick Lofton was the hero for the Royals in the bottom of the 9th, walking it off to win 4-3. 5 straight losses after 6 straight wins? Yeah, that sounds about right. It's either sweep or be swept for the Pirates, and it's so fucking frustrating. All right, I'm sure they're going to lose the Royals again tonight. Who's even pitching for him? I don't even know. I don't want to look it up. Do I want to look it up? No. Falter. Bailey Falter starting for him. God damn it. You know what? Falter's been fine when he isn't going up against Cal Raleigh, so maybe they'll pull something off. I don't know. But yeah, we've gone back to despair here at 38-55. Let's talk about other teams getting into bad slumps. If we really want to talk about slumping, then we should head over to the Nationals. If you never saw the results of the games, you'd think they're doing spectacular with how much MLB socials are sucking off James Woods' wood. But they just fired their manager and general manager right before the draft. Dave Martinez and Mike Rizzo are gone after getting swept by the Red Sox, and the record is just as bad as the Pirates at 37-54. A team that we talked about that was slumping last week, but isn't really slumping this week, the Mets. They've won 4 straight games, but they're still 7-5 over their last 22. for an overall record of 52-39. Sorry, the Mets are 53-39 after that crazy back and forth win against the Orioles last night. But the Yankees are on the same path right now at 7-16 over the same time period since June 13th. The Yankees are 49-41 overall, and they're second in the division right behind the Blue Jays. And the Yankees are 50-41 after slamming the Mariners 10-3. All right, around the league here. Let's check about the Giants and the Red Sox after the Devers trade, shall we? Since the trade happened on June 15th, the Red Sox are 12-9, and the Giants are 10-12 after they just lost to the Phillies on Wednesday. Actually got crushed by them. Oh my God, it's 13-0 Philly over San Francisco after San Francisco had a walk-off inside the park home run last night because the ball that Patrick Bailey hit right off the top wall and bounced like 200 feet the other way. Patrick Bailey is the first catcher in 99 years to have a walk-off inside the park home run. So I do think it's funny that the Red Sox have a better winning percentage than the Giants do since then. The Red Sox are 48-45, and the Giants are 51-42. So the Red Sox are inching ever closer to the Giants in those standings. I mean, not that they're in the same league or anything, but just that Craig Breslow might have been right, that they might have a better winning percentage without him. So, what about the man himself? Well, he's slashing 234, 355, 377 with only 5 doubles and 2 home runs. And today, he went just over 3 against the Phillies, so that's only going to go down. He's getting on base, no doubt about that, but he's not doing a lot of hitting, let alone for power. So, when you're not a power-hitting DH, what are you? So then this week, as well, this came out 2 days ago, he also reportedly stood up Giants legend Will Clark on the second day he was in town to field some ground balls at first base. Will Clark is loved by Giants fans, and for this to come out 3 weeks later and he still hasn't played the field is a horrible look for Devers, especially since it seems like he was just blowing smoke up the Giants front office's asses during his introductory press conference when he said he'll play wherever they want him. I bet they are pissed. The Giants had 2012, 2014, and 2016, so I do not feel bad for them at all. And the Red Sox being better after trading Devers is just hilarious to me. All right, last thing for baseball here. Last little bit. This article came out about the A's stadium, and this is the one that I referenced last week when I said at least they had a groundbreaking for the stadium. Well, supposedly it's going to be an open stadium, but they had to set up an air-conditioned tent for the groundbreaking since it was already nearly 90 degrees by 10 a.m. This is not going to bode well. There are going to be people passing out from heat stroke in the goddamn stadium. Someone on Reddit who goes to Reno Aces games said that was even unbearable until after the sun starts to go down, and Reno isn't in the middle of the desert like Las Vegas is. So this whole thing was set up for the groundbreaking, and they had construction vehicles parked in the back. And I know that they do this sometimes, just rent it out to make it look like something's going to happen. But usually you don't have the groundbreaking to go along with it. You're just like, oh, these are the machines that we're going to use on this job. Here's like a look at them. You can like roll them around. But I really think they had them there for show, as to say like, hey, this is going to get started soon, when they actually have no idea when the construction is actually going to start, and they want to have this done in 2 years. 2028. They want to be in there by 2028. That's not happening. Not happening at all. They're just putting on such a weird show. And someone said that in the article that this is going to be like a 10-part Netflix documentary. It might actually be. Some shit is going down here. How the A's left Oakland or something. I don't know. Maybe make it Oakland, but just remove the A's in the title. All caps. Thank me later. Okay. LND. That's the title of the docuseries. $1 million idea right there. Put it towards actually starting construction. How about that? All right, that's it for baseball. There was a lot of shit there for baseball. I'm sure I might have something to add later, but let's move on to college football. Not a lot of college football news either. Still in the dead period. College football 26 is out, though, but I'm all in on Diamond Dynasty for the year so far, and the All-Star Break content is coming out this Friday. So there is going to be a lot of shit to do in MLB, and I really don't want to be behind in that. I just got Ted Williams unlocked, so I am actually ahead of the curve a little bit, I think. So we'll see if I see more stuff come out about it, but for the most part, Dynasty mode kind of looks the same, like the scouting looks the same. I wish it were a little bit different. It got a little bit monotonous, maybe about 3 years into the franchise that I was doing, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just put it on auto. But yeah, I don't. I should just play College Football 25 if I want to play the same goddamn thing. It ran over. I have nothing else to say about that. Okay, on to the NFL. First bit of news, first bit of juicy rumors here. People still don't know if this is true or not. Cardi B has deleted all of the pictures of Stephon Diggs off her Instagram, so it seems like she won't be bringing any of that drama around Foxborough, and it's probably good to cut ties with all that before training camp, to be honest with you. Actually, it was funny. Diggs took a couple pictures with Drake, and someone said that the headline should have been, Diggs leaves Cardi B for Drake. Quarterback Season 2 is out on Netflix now. Still haven't watched a lot of that. Apparently, Kirk Cousins complains about signing with the Falcons, which is totally believable. You know what? I posed the theory that maybe he gets traded to the Giants somehow. And if he does get traded to the Giants, then look out for the Giants, because that would be scary with the defense that they're about to have. But yeah, who knows? I'll take a look at that. I'll watch that this weekend. The Commanders released their Super Bowl throwbacks, and the Saints unveiled a new white helmet. So now I'm just waiting for the drop of these Nike Rivalries jerseys, of which the Pats will have one any day now. I swear to God, it's taking forever. Oh, and speaking of construction of stadiums, the Bills, we got a progress video of their new stadium going up. And as the people in the comments are saying, this is how football should be played, in the elements, on natural grass. They're doing this. I didn't realize there was going to be like a 65-foot overhang, and the stairs are like the sections of seats are pretty steep. So they're not going to have to do as much shoveling, I believe, as they did in the past for just the seats. This is really cool. As an electrician, being able to work on one of these jobs would be amazing. Would it be a pain in the ass? Yes. But I could say that, hey, I worked on building this new stadium, and since I'm, obviously a fan of sports, it would be even cooler to add to my resume. That might be bucket list in terms of work. No more football news. Training camp's about to start up here in the next week or so. So maybe we'll, I guess the only thing that could come out of that is bad news, some bad injury news. But yeah, we'll cover it if it does happen. Last little tidbit here before I check Twitter. Trump wants to have a UFC event at the White House next year for the country's 250th anniversary. Hey, let's host an event that's full of immigrants beating each other up under the American flag on the lawn of the White House. Good idea, Trump. And there's a twist. If you lose, you're deported. Out, you're out. If you win, you get to stay in this great country forever. Never have to go back to that shithole from wherever you are. Whatever bullshit. I can do a Trump so much better when I'm not on mic. I just get, like, the pressure just comes down on me, and I'm like, I gotta be perfect. It has to be met. I'd like, scrap it. Alrighty, I got a lot to cut out of this one, so I should get going. Everybody, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. Hoagies and Pierogis is available on Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Make sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok for clips throughout the week. And we'll leave you with this. Munch. Recorded in central Pennsylvania in front of a live studio audience with your host, Ian DiCarlo. This is Hoagies and Pierogis.